Hello traders, and thanks for tuning in to this week's Market Outlook from XNES. I'm Michael Stark, Financial Content Leader, and in this video I'm going to be giving a potential idea for a trade over the next few days, some of the narratives that are driving the possible movement, and what traders who were to take the position would need to be aware of. But before that, let's look back at the performance of the last week's idea. Last week the potential idea was a buy for AMD stock, with the target roughly around $205 to $210 if the price had retraced back to 165 to 170 and started to move up. The idea was triggered, but it hasn't reached the target yet, with the price moving up strongly from around 160, so it's possible that it could still be valid and it could still reach the target within the next few days or weeks. Now, this week's idea is a potential buy for Ether against the US dollar. We can see that as the price of Bitcoin has risen, so too has Ether, with the chart showing a double top and the price possibly wanting to continue above there to reach an area around 2,800 within the next few weeks, and more into the medium to long term, 3,000 is the next price in focus. So it's a bit more difficult than usual to give a target here, so it might be an idea for traders to take the position to use a trailing stop if that suits them. Some of the primary narratives that are driving the potential move up by Ether against the US dollar are firstly the Bitcoin Domination Index, and that we can see that this index has risen above 50%. That's usually a possible indicator that altcoin season might begin and the focus might shift from Bitcoin onto other major currencies. There also is some possible support for that from data from futures. We can see that open interest for futures on Ether has risen significantly, not very much, but steadily over the last several days, so it's a possible indicator this impression could be correct. Meanwhile, overall economic conditions remain somewhat neutral and possibly cautiously optimistic, with relatively good GDP in the USA and most other economies' economic growth being stagnant, but certainly not recessive. Now, traders who were to take the position over the next few days would need to be aware primarily of American inflation. That's coming out on Tuesday the 13th of February in the afternoon. It's possible this could be higher than expected based on the previous release, but either way it's likely that volatility and activity in most markets, including crypto markets, is likely to increase around that time. So in summary, the potential idea for a trade this week is a buy for Ether with a debatable target perhaps around 2,700 or 2,800 in the near term at least. The primary narratives driving the possible movement are the shift away from Bitcoin and onto altcoins, and the main focus of traders in the coming days is American inflation. Please remember, this is just an idea for a trade, it's not a signal, it's not a guarantee of success. You should always do your own research and manage risk.